Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Harihi Om.
That which we call the outer world is perfect. This which we call the inner world is perfect. Each one filled with divine consciousness. Perfect comes from perfect. Take perfect from perfect. The remainder is perfect. Divine consciousness is non-dual. Anything that emerges from the divine consciousness is whole, is complete, is Purna. May peace and peace and peace be everywhere. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate.
Hey friends, I'm Shrija and welcome to all of you to Purna Mother, yet another episode, yet another story which will make you think and believe in what lifetimes can do and how people come back and for what they come back. So I have been with Dr. Trupti Jain in this journey for over 10 years and I've seen many lives heal and many mystical journeys unfold right in front of my eyes. And being a witness and now a therapist trained by her, I feel that every day is a new chapter in life. Every day is a lesson. And today, you just wait with a bated breath because we have such a story which actually mesmerized me when I heard it for the first time. Despite of knowing so many past life stories, this one especially touched my heart immensely. So today I have with me Dr. Trupti Jain. Welcome, Dr. Jain, in Purna Mother Show, your show, and always coming to us, with new stories and new, validations about past life.
Thank
So,
you,
Dr.
Shrija.
Trupti Jain, what to say about you? You have been a clinical psychologist, an occupational therapist, and a transformational life coach. And you've been working in this field for over 20 years, and I'm sure you've seen so many various cases and through various modalities like past life regression, family constellation, inner child, and transactional analysis, you've been working with people. And also we have with us Debolina P.K. Viswas Chaudhary. And Debolina is she runs a school here in Calcutta and she is triple masters, which really excited me as I was reading your profile, Debolina. And one master's you've completed from Toronto, Canada. And it was such a wonderfully educated. I mean, when I was reading it, you really, given yourself the years to educate yourself, and now running successfully a school here in Calcutta. And Debolina got into past life regression because of the grief she underwent when she lost her father. The father-daughter journey was not just in this lifetime, but various others. And this is what you're going to come to know as she reveals her story, I'm sure, which will leave you in awe of how love finds each other. So over to you, Dr. Trupti Jain and
Thank,
Debulina.
thank you, Shrija, and welcome, Debulina. Thank you for being
Thank
our
you, ma'am.
guest today. So,
My pleasure, ma'am.
Debulina, let's start at that turning point of your life. As children, we never believe that we can lose our parents. They are like stuck to us and we are stuck to them. And to lose a father at any age or a mother at any age really shakes you. Your being starts shaking inside. So, Debulina, share with us what you went through. And of course, a lot about your dad we want to hear, because the kind of attachment that you must have had with your father, how deep was it, and what transpired after he passed over? So tell us more, Debulina.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Uh, I would start saying, like I said yesterday as well, that when there's love deep down inside our soul, you just cannot let go of the person, and that is what I faced. Like the story is of my father and I. Honestly, we'd never been uh, physically very close. Like he was a little conservative. He was always very conservative, very quiet, so we were never like hugging each other or anything. And like I never even felt that I was that close, or I would ever uh, feel this way after he passes away. But suddenly he was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and uh, it is like the world changed for me. And he was under treatment, and we still hoped that he would recover. In fact, he passed away on the 23rd of October 2019, and that was early in the morning. Until 22nd night, I prayed and I believed that maybe tomorrow he would sit up and be okay. Maybe God's miracle is going to work, and tomorrow he's going to get up. But that never happened. And after he passed away, uh, that was, I mean, like as you said, all of us grieve the passing away of our parents. But I don't know why I felt that I was under immense grief, and not like everyone else. It was something different. And that is when I wanted to seek deeper answers. And honestly, like parents are very possessive. Like my mom, she had just lost her husband. So she did not want me to get into all this, because she was very concerned about my children as well. Being a nanny, she was concerned about my well-being. Like everybody else in the normal world would say, whatever is gone. Like we have tried our level best to save him, but if there's nothing that could be done, we just move on. But for me, it was just no moving on. I was just stuck there. And then I wanted to know that why is it that I am stuck? Like, of course, my mother had known my father ever since she was 18. So definitely the interaction was way more. I mean, and she had me almost when she was 30. So
Okay.
can you imagine? It was so many more years of interaction. And of course, I didn't recognize my father the day I was born. So I was born when she was 30, and she knew my father right from the time she was 18. But I don't know why the pain was so deep for me, only for me. That is the reason I wanted to seek answers, which, I mean, why I was so plagued, why it was so different for me. Even I could have moved on like a normal daughter would generally do, with her family, with her kids, but I just was stuck up. And that is the reason I wanted to go ahead, seek deeper answers. And that moment on, like that time, I did not want to do anything. Like I mentioned yesterday, even a drop of water, I did not want to drink. um, at that point of time, yes, the only thing, like I was trying to find out, but where is he gone, and how can I connect back to him? And this people would never generally not do. Like people would, when you know someone is dead, you believe that that person is dead. You will never, people would generally not like to connect or find deeper answers. But that was the thing. मैं बिल्कुल जिद पे आ गई थी, and I don't know why that happened to me.
Right.
and it was not planned. It was sudden, and it was just happening naturally, and I don't know why it was happening.
Can you tell us
So that
more
is,
about your dad, like his behaviors, what he liked to do? Was he a very spiritual person? Anything about your dad?
yes, ma'am. He was generally a very quiet person. He was not a very uh, he was not a very mixing person. He would just like to stay within himself. He'd always been a very meritorious student. Like I shared a few of his pictures, college days
Certificates.
pictures with him,
Yeah.
his certificates, and his friends would tell every time his friends would interact with us. His college friends would tell that he's been always very meritorious. He would sit and tutor his classmates so that they pass in the exams, and that is even mentioned in the college alumni book, which I share, the page where he's mentioned.
Yes.
He's always been that way. He's never been very close, like we never been like uh, father daughter relation wherein I missed him physically, or like he was never a person who would hug me or be by my side. He was always a very quiet person, and that was even more strange why I felt that way. But like if I was subah sham hugging my dad, and I don't find him physically to hug
Right.
him, uh, then I might have understood that that is the reason I missed him. But I remember when I was around 5. Before that, when he used to go to office, I used to give a peck to him on his cheek, and he would peck me back. But then one day, suddenly, my mom said, "No, you won't do that." And then I asked him why. I asked my mother why. She said, "Your father is saying that you're growing up, so he doesn't want to be physically so close to you." That was the kind of person, a reserved, an extremely reserved person he was. And that is like, I wasn't, so we were never physically that close. And so that is what even made me feel strange, that why was I missing him so much, and feeling so bad. Why was this death, this word, why is it that I can't accept it? Because everybody
Right.
accepts.
So, Debulina, how old were you when your dad passed away? Your age?
I was like around 36
So that's only last year, right? Then when he passed
last
away
year.
in
Yes, yes, yes,
2019. Yeah.
yes,
So you
yes,
had many years with your dad.
yes,
Yeah. So it's
yes.
not that, you were very young and your dad passed away. So you've had so many years, 36 years with your dad, yet the loss was so intense. So that is something important. If you had a short time with a parent and the parent goes away, I understand the sense of loss. And but in your case, you've had years of getting close, and you had time with your father. You got married. You have 2 children, and you had a life of your own now, right?
Absolutely,
Still, the attachment to your dad was so intense. It
absolutely.
was
And
very
why?
interesting.
Absolutely. And I wasn't even staying in my Mica. The day I got married, I moved to my in-laws place, and there itself I was staying for the last 10 years. I mean, I got
Right.
married about 10 years, 10, 11, 10 years back. And for the 10 years, I was in my Sasural, and that is about one and a half year hours away from my Mica.
Correct. So,
So
did you have anything like, every day you would talk to your dad or something like that? No.
this is another strange thing. He's such a quiet person that the only person that my brother, or younger brother, or me would talk to is my mother. We would not talk to him for years like that, over the phone. It is not about it. Like, we would always talk, like he was ill, and we would always talk about him. Our topic of discussion was him, but we would never talk to him. He was so quiet and so calm. He did not like much talking. Over the phone also, he was like, jitna kaam ka baat hai bas utna ho gaya, to he would disconnect the phone.
Correct.
So he was not a very comfortable person talking for years and hours together. It was only my mom that we were talking to.
I am very curious to know, did he know that you are very attached to him? Did you ever express to him while he was living that you are so attached? No.
No. And even I did not realize that. Even I did not realize that I was so attached to him.
Yeah.
I was very shaken when he was sick. Believe me, when I came to know that he was sick, in Calcutta we generally pray Ma Kali. So it was for a continuous 100 days that I slit my chest, and I took out blood from it, and I prayed to God for continuous 101 days, so that he recovers. All these feelings came to me only when we realized that he was terminally ill. But before that, I mean, the attachment, before only when I came to know that he was sick, the question that came to me is, why my Baba? But that would come to every other daughter. That is a very common thing.
Right. So, Debulina, what happened? I know now we understand that you were grieving, dad's no longer there, you had this deep attachment to him, which even you could not understand why you're so attached to him and why you're grieving so much. Like your mom also accepted, and like any other daughter, as time goes by, we just adjust to our life, But I remember, Debulina, when you called me, even before you came for this session and I was coming to Calcutta, you had been in touch with me months before that, after your dad passed away. Immediately after that, you were in touch with me. And I even told you that, that's okay, what is the requirement to do the session? But you kept calling me because you were just crying. And you said, I can't understand what is happening to me, as if I need to connect with him. So tell us about that need to connect to him that got you to see me, actually. And what did you expect when you came to see me? Yeah, Shrija, go on.
And before that, ma'am, as she has written to you, that she had read about parapsychology, she believed in it. She had read Brian Weiss, Ian Stevenson, and Tucker. She had read everything, and she was so on for this whole thing. So we are curious that what made you come to this particular thing, and what was the need to connect? Yes.
Yeah.
Like as I said yesterday, my first introduction to something like PLR or something like past life regression happens and could happen was when I was studying in Toronto. There I used to log in and watch that too, like it comes in YouTube when you're watching one series, there's some other advertisement which comes on that you can also watch this and you can also watch that. So when when I was there and I was watching maybe something else in YouTube, and then this ad came up that was about I have been married for 10 years, and maybe 2 years before that. That was the time when Ras Pichhle Janam Ka was coming on television, but I did not see it on television. I saw it on my laptop because it is not aired in Toronto. So, suddenly, while I was watching something on YouTube, I watched a series of it, and then of course it was very interesting. And then I used to watch it every day, the recordings which were on YouTube. That was my first introduction to this world, I would say. And then then when my father passed away, there was nothing that I wanted to do, that there was no one that I wanted to see. It was like I had failed. I had terribly failed in something, and I did not want to show my face to anybody. I did not want to see anybody's face. At that point of time, I was constantly talking to my father. I mean, in my mind, I was asking him, where is he gone and how would I get to connect to him? At that point of time, I remembered of this show. And I also wanted to be normal. So the only thing which gave me peace for the first time is, at that time, is watching episodes of Ras Pichle Janam Ka again on YouTube. So that made me feel a little more comfortable that maybe, he's around and I will be able to get a connect with him. Then I went deeper into because that was the only subject which was catching my attention then. Then I read about all these books, and I also read about Indian authors, about the first case whichever came up during Mahatma Gandhi's time, and
Shanti Devi.
Yes, ma'am. about Many Life, Many Masters, and Dr. Gaurav Deka, who is in Delhi, and about that. But my first introduction, as in there could be something like that, was through Dr. Tripti Jain. And this is a taboo subject, so like I also have a family, I have two little children, so if I wanted to go in, if I wanted to be in this PLR session, I wanted to go with the best, because like a normal person would be scared that what if I am transported to my previous life and I don't come back and I don't realize that normally a person, I would come to you it again later, that my Masi was so concerned, how did I go and meet you all alone? So I will come to that later again. And so even I wasn't really sure, like how it happens. And like everybody who met me and asked me about it, they said, is it just the way, is it done just the way it was aired in television? I said, yes, exactly that way. Nobody would even believe that it is exactly the way it was aired in television, because even if you see repeated episodes of it, there were 2 seasons and a lot of episodes, but until unless you are into it, you step into it, you really don't realize it happens, and it really happens this way. So when I wanted to go to a session, I wanted to do it only with you.
Yeah, I know.
Because in my like I heard your TED Talks as well, and you are so experienced. When I searched, I said, I read that you've I don't know how long back that has been put in internet, but when I read it, it was like you had already done 7,000 cases of it. Now I don't know how many cases, but
Yeah.
7,000 cases.
So Devulina, when you came to see me, you came with a certain agenda, right? You had a certain thought that I'll go for this session and this is what I'd see, or this is what I should experience. So can you tell us exactly what was the thought with which you came?
Ma'am, like when I'm then I had read about Many Life, Many Masters. So what I was expecting when I came into this PLR session is I would see myself again as his daughter, and I would see my father as my father and me as his daughter in some other lifetime. So that was the only agenda that I had in my mind, and there was nothing else. I did not think much of it, but I was like, I was in contact. Like you said, I was desperate to get in touch with you. And suddenly one day I was sitting in a shop, and I saw one of your posts in which you had written your assistant's number. So I wanted to contact them, and I got in touch with Akshay, and he's been very helpful. So after that, I was constantly in touch. I was just wanted to see you. And luckily, because I have small children, it would have been very difficult for me to travel to your place, but you were coming. This happened to me in October, and you were coming to Kolkata in January. So luckily you were coming in, and I wanted to see you.
Yeah. So now you have to tell us what exactly happened in the session, because you came with a certain expectation that you will be the daughter of the same person who would be the father in a previous lifetime. But what actually transpired? Can you share that with us?
Sure, ma'am. When I went there, then we had a discussion about half an hour or an hour of discussion. So you asked me, and I told you everything about and the only discussion that we discussed were of my father and my husband and my sons and my mother and my brother. These are the only people we discussed. And what I expected is to find me as my, like, even even in Many Life, Many Masters, I've read that like mother-daughter relation or father-daughter relation, they are repeated births after births. Like as I say, a cluster of souls are born together. Like I also heard in your TED Talks mentioning that people born with a hole in their ears.
Yeah.
So that is what I expected. But when in the PLR session, like the way when it went on, and like the way like when I went deep into it, I was like, Akshay had told me a lot of times that all the best, so I wasn't even sure if I could actually see anything. That was the first thing. And if I would ever see, I would see myself as his daughter in some other, like, these are the only two thoughts that I ever had in my mind. But I was like surprised when I saw, like, just the you did it with me just the way it is there in the YouTube videos of Ras Pichhle Janam Ka. So you wanted me to see under my feet, and I saw my barefoot and on green grass, and then I saw little hills which are green, and that was Chittagong which I saw. And then I saw myself as a young woman clad in sari, and even then I was like, I wasn't sure who I was seeing. So then I saw a young boy about 4.5 or 5 years old. So even in a PLR session, I was not sure, because I was seeing I was thinking that I was seeing me and my sons, because I have twin sons who are about 5 years old then, who are about 5 years old now. So I was thinking I was seeing me and my son. But what really did not appeal to me is I have twin sons, and like ever since they were born to us, I would give them the same dress to wear, the same pants to wear, the same shoes to wear, everything same. I never separate them. As a mother, I never separate them. So I was expecting to see two boys, two young children. But then you wanted me to visualize my father. So I saw myself as a young woman clad in a pastel pink sari, and I saw a young boy. I saw just one boy, and that is what I was confused about. That why am I seeing just one boy? Because I have two. Because even then I did not realize that I was seeing me and my father. I was thinking that I was seeing me and my son, but I wanted to. I was really searching for the other son. Where is my other son? So then, when I got deeper into it, then I saw it was me who was his elder sister. And my father was a child. My father's elder sister, and my father was a child about 4.5, 5 years old, in white shirt and white pants. And the color of the dresses mostly that I got to see in PLR were all white or in pastel shades. That was the only color of the dresses that I got to see. I don't know why, but that is the way I saw it. So then I saw myself as a young woman, and in Chittagong, in a hilly area, and my father as a young boy. And before PLR session, actually, I had never seen Chittagong. I had never even seen a picture of Chittagong. In Bangladesh now, it is a hill station. But after the PLR session, when I came and checked, I saw the same kind of terrain. That was again something surprising. In fact, this is another interesting fact is that like as I told you, my father was a marine engineer, and my husband is a captain in Merchant Navy. So the first time after marriage, when I wanted to when I was joining him in the ship, we joined together, and just for one port we had missed Chittagong. The ship had been to Chittagong, and the next port was somewhere in Singapore. We joined in Singapore, and just for one port I missed being in Chittagong. So if my husband would have joined in the previous port, then we could have joined from there. But for just one port, I mean, these are just strange things which just happen to you, and when they happen, you don't even notice that they are happening.
That's true.
But later, it strikes. That is how it happened. I mean, when I saw the logbook, I saw that the ship had just been from Chittagong to Singapore, and we joined there.
Correct. So then, basically, you had never been to Chittagong, so you don't know anything about Chittagong. So what you saw in the past life is that you were a young woman, you were in Chittagong, and your father was a 4.5-year-old child. And how did you know that? What is your relationship with your father then? How did you know that this lady that you're seeing is the sister of your father? Did you know anything about the sister?
No, not much before. Like when you asked me to send pictures also, that is the only picture that I have. In fact, I asked my cousin brother to send it to me, and I forwarded it to you. I didn't even have that picture.
Right.
And,
so what exactly had happened with the sister? What happened to the elder sister?
like they moved in when she was a young woman, and they moved into Kolkata. And when they were here, I mean, she was around 34, 35, 30. I'm not sure, but that time she passed away. That was before my father's marriage. She was
Okay.
sick, and she passed away.
Right.
Like,
So actually, when you were seeing the past life, did you see anybody else apart from your father? Any?
yes, I did.
Yeah. So share that with
Like
us. What else did you see?
once you were instructing me to move on with it, so like first I saw them in the midst of the hello.
Yeah, yeah. Go on.
First I saw them in the midst of the field, and then you wanted me to go in the house, so I went in the house. That was again, even there I saw my father as a very quiet child sitting in one corner and playing with his toys. And then you wanted me to move on, just the way, like, people won't believe. So since this is going to be aired, so this, I'm talking to the other ones also who would see us. It just happened the way it is shown in the episodes of Ras Pichhle Janam Ka. So you wanted me to move on. You wanted me to see if the other members of the house who all are there. So when I moved on, I saw my parents then, who are my grandparents actually. They come into the house. I saw my uncles and aunts as uh, little children. They come in, and what I heard, even one of my aunts who had just messaged me after my father passed away, even there she had mentioned, like, my father, like my grandmother, she used to be sick most of the time. So this sister, she used to play the role of a mother. She used to cook for them. She used to take care of them. She was literally the elder sister and their mother. I
Right.
saw my siblings coming in the house, young siblings, taking care of them, cooking. What I heard from my aunts also, that she was always cooking for them and taking care of them, and that is what I saw. But that is just not what I expected. Like, when in the
Right.
PLI session, I told you that my mother would often say, you are this sister of in-law of mine who has come back. But um, I had also written in my FB post after my PLR session that
Yes.
honestly, I had never thought of her as me.
Right.
She would just say it, and that was just a passing comment. That's it. I had never thought of her in the last 25 years, and I had never thought of, even when after my father passed away, and till I actually went and saw you in the hotel for the PLR session. I never thought of my uncles and aunts as well. I only thought of my father. That's it. And I only thought of like, I was busy with my children. They were the only people in my vicinity, and they were the only people in my mind. Like, as
Correct.
they say,
So,
like,
correct. So, Devlina, after the session, when you realized that you were the eldest sister of your father reborn as his daughter, did you share this with your aunts and uncles, with
I
your
did, I did.
dad's
Sorry.
with your dad's siblings? So,
I,
can you
I,
tell us what was their reaction?
I did share. I mean, they believe, because this is such a subject, people are not even sure whether they believe in it or not. This is such uh, an untouched subject. And when I shared, they believed. I Like, my father's elder brother, his daughter, like my elder sister, she believed. She wanted me to share your contact, and she was like, this year it is total lockdown, but we never expected that. She wanted to have a session with you because her mother passed away, my Taiji. She passed
Right.
away, and she wanted to have a session with you and find out where her mother went. And they were all excited about it. Like, many, like, when I shared it with my my maternal aunt also, she said that she was very excited about it. And like, she too, I mean, when these episodes were aired on television, she used to see all the episodes. And like,
Yeah.
like, uh, she too has a school. My aunt too has a school. So
Okay.
it was after I went through the session, and I just told her once. I didn't even know how much people believed in it, but that wasn't
Right.
what I was concerned about. What I
Right.
was concerned about is how much I
Yeah.
believe in it.
Absolutely right. So,
And I'm very curious to know. that as you were, as the journey was unfolding for you, what came up about your father and your aunt's relationship?
Yeah.
What came up for you? As that is so important for the closure that you needed at that point for which you were doing the past life journey. So, what came up, the relationship? Could you share that with us?
Definitely. My father was, till his last breath, he was very, very close to his siblings. He would love them like anything. His siblings meant his world for him. I mean, ever since I came into my senses, till his last breath, all I knew and I saw his sisters meant the world to him. He was very close and very fond of his siblings. Like even my aunts, when they talk to me today, or when they talk about my father, it is very, I would say, in today's world, it's a strange sibling bonding, that they don't know they don't really bother about their spouse, they don't bother about their children, they are so close to their siblings. A very strange siblings bonding today, I would say.
So
That is why probably she chose to come back. That is why
Yes.
probably she chose to come back
as you.
to your father, right?
Yeah.
It could have been
Absolutely.
like you chose to come back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So once you came to know this, Devulina, that you are actually your father's eldest sister, who looked after him and looked after all the other little, brothers and sisters, what changed in you? What changed?
Sorry, ma'am, I didn't get what changed me in the
Yeah.
sense.
So once you came to know that you are your father's eldest sister who passed away even before your father married or you were born, what changed inside you? What was the shift that took place?
I felt like even I had been like very close to my aunts. Like I never wanted anything would create a discrepancy or a not so welcome topic. Even I wouldn't get into it. Like I wouldn't say. I mean, in this lifetime, I wouldn't say I was as close as my father were to his siblings,
Mm.
because they are my aunts now. But
Mm.
I always wanted to have a very good relation with them, and even them. Like a few days back, I was talking to one of my friends about my aunts. Like they had always been with me through all the phases of my life. They've always been supporting me. Like they have always been in every function. Like they've participated actively in my marriage when my children were born. They visited them. They got real nice goodies for my children. They are very fond of
Right,
my sons.
right. So, did the grief come down after the session? Did the grief that you felt, did that reduce?
Absolutely, it did. In the sense, like I also remember you mentioning in your notes that I was one of the few people whom you regressed, and you saw that I was crying. You mentioned that
Yeah.
not many people, while regression, you see them crying, but you saw me continuously crying there, because I was so happy to see my father. I was so happy to be transported to that life, to see me with him, with my siblings.
Yes,
And
yes. And any spiritual, like when you saw your father in the past life as a small child, but post that, have you been getting any spiritual messages from your father?
it is a very strange thing that happened. I mean, not many would believe, but it did happen to me, and I would
Okay.
share that with you. Like when my father had passed away, I just did not want to connect with anybody. I don't want to show my face to anybody. I don't want to see anybody's face. And there were many people who were offended by my behavior then, but then I just couldn't do anything about it, because it was not that I was doing it on purpose. It was just something which was naturally happening to me. And like as I mentioned earlier, like my husband is a captain in Merchant Navy, so he was sailing then. When my father passed away, he was about to sign off, but it's a responsibility, and you just can't sign off till you get a alternative for you. So he was about to sign off. So through I didn't even, you wouldn't believe me, I was in so much of grief. I didn't even tell my husband that my father had passed away.
Oh
He
my
did
God.
not know it. Yeah,
Okay.
he did not know it about for about 7 to 10 days. He did not know about it.
Mhm.
Like my father, he was into the shipping industry, and he was literally a celebrity. He was such a perfectionist, literally a celebrity in the industry. So one of his friends, he came to know that my father had passed away, and he shared that in a common WhatsApp group. It was
Okay.
about 7 to 10 days after my father passed away that my husband saw that message. And
Right.
when he called up, like he was busy for about, he did not know anything happened. So when he called up about 7 to 10 days after my father passed away, to see that if it was really it was a truth, or it was just some rumor. At that time, I did not even, at that time I did not speak to him. It was not, believe me, it was not that I wanted to punish my husband or something like that. It was not like that at all. I'm living with him, and he's the best husband I could have ever had. But it was my state of mind then that I did not want to communicate with anybody, be it my husband. So he was calling, and I was not answering. I mean, it was not that I was not answering. I was giving the phone to my sons to talk to him. I did not want him to feel bad. So, and whenever he was asking for me, I said, Mama is busy or something. So I did not talk to him and stuff. Now, like as you know, that these days children are very tech savvy. So my children, what they would do generally is they would take my phone and they would scribble, but they know how to open WhatsApp messengers. They know how to open it. They know the icon where their father's photo is there, so they would open up and they would type messages and send cars and all those pictures or something, scribble something and saying that they wanted to talk to their father, and I would give it to them, of course. So this was happening, and one day suddenly I came up upon a message. It was like they were 4.5 and they did not know anything to write a proper WhatsApp message. But I came upon a message which suddenly mentioned certain words which caught my attention. Like my father, he was terminally ill and he was undergoing treatment, but he was so fed up with the injections and medicines every day that he now did not want to get treated anymore. He just wanted to be left alone. He was anyways always a person who would not mingle much, but he was like totally done with it.
Right.
And he was
Right.
very scared of injections and medicines and drawing blood from his body every now and then. He was just done with it. So when the first message that I noticed, unfortunately I don't know, I can't find it, that was the one which caught my attention. He said there were words like illusion, there were words like partition, there were words like Bengal, which definitely my sons couldn't write. If you see the other parts of the message, they're just alphabetical jumbles and a few pictures.
Correct.
That was the first message that I noticed.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody would definitely believe someone is sending WhatsApp messages, but that was happening because maybe that's what I feel, that was happening because there is nobody that I wanted to connect with. There's nobody that I wanted to talk to or express. I had just shut myself in a bottle, and
Right.
the
So,
only person
so
I was talking
correct.
to
So,
then.
Debulina, if I look at the messages, if you can just open your phone and just tell us with every message what are the words that gave you a message, and I'll be showing the slides to the viewers
Like
as you explain.
yes, ma'am. There was a message in which there's written "I Didi." That is the way we generally, we generally address our elder sisters. there was a message in which there was written Assalamu alaikum. How could my sons, who are 4 years old, if the viewers see the rest of the message, they will very well understand that is something my sons definitely cannot write. But I heard, like, when he was in Bangladesh, Muslim guy. Uh, there was a message. There was alphabetical jumbles in which there was a line written wherein it said, "I will be in town for a few days." How can my sons write that?
Correct.
This was
Yes.
strange, and I thought, I mean, nobody would generally believe that someone is sending me WhatsApp messages. I mean, it's in a way it could be funny,
And there
but
is something
I
called
think
crawl into bed, and
Yeah.
and doctor is being mentioned.
doctor.
What do you think?
Yes.
What does that represent? Like, what kind of message was he trying to give you? Was he trying to pacify you that, I'm happy getting out of the bed, and you just relax and I'm here? Was it something like that?
First of all, I would like to thank you, Shrija. Thank you so much for bringing this up, because this had not even come to my mind till you mentioned it right now. Like, what happened is, throughout his life, even when he was diagnosed with his terminal illness, he was the most active person one could ever see. Like I told you, he's literally a celebrity in the shipping world even today. Everybody knows him across West Bengal. Like, he's been absolutely active. When he retired from his government job, he was depressed that he retired, and he took multiple jobs as advisors and everyone.
Right. So there's this interesting, Shrija, that you mentioned, this crawl into bed, and then the message continues. I am going to be in town for just a few days, as if the soul is kind of visiting her for a few days.
It's transitioning.
Absolutely, ma'am.
And there's
Absolutely,
also Debolina, a name mentioned here. Sharda. Can you tell us? Like, there is a message
Dada.
mein hai, Dada Sharda. Anything that rings a bell there?
First of all, sorry, ma'am. First of all, I would like, this came into my mind right now when Shrija mentioned that is like, in his last few days he was bedridden, and he was absolutely, his mind was working, but he could not even get up and go to the washroom. He was bedridden. He was getting bed sores. Maybe that is what he mentioned, and I just got to know about it right now when Shrija mentioned. I saw this line, but I did not know what to make out of it. It just came to her mind, and then it struck me. Like, Sharda again is my mommy. Like, my mama, this mama of mine and my father, they were very fond of each other, and he just passed away 6 months. He was absolutely fine and there was nothing wrong with him, but he just passed away 6 months before my father expired. Maybe he mentioned something about that. He has an elder brother.
Amazing, Debolina. So, friends, you're listening to
Debolina.
Debolina.
He connected with him.
He connected, yes. I mean, we always say that, the ones who pass away, the dead, always send us some messages because they are not really dead, right? They're just in another world, in another form. And this is so interesting that you can even get messages. Children are typing nonsensical words and sending pictures.
Yes.
And in between that, there are certain messages, certain words that are coming. And for Debolina, that was a way that her dad was trying to communicate to her. I mean, this is something really unique. Debolina, since you've understood a lot about your dad, and I think over the last few months, your grief has also reduced. You're now getting back to being normal completely. So what have you understood about death after doing a past life session?
I really got to know very deep insight on life and death. What I got to feel is our body is the illusion. The real part is the soul. Because if the love is deep down inside, a cluster of souls are born together. The soul is the soul can be compared to the swan which is in the cage of the body. And once the time is up, we leave, we return to come back. to the loved ones, because like I remember when you asked me to visualize my body from the top when I was dying in my last birth. What I saw is, like, I remember explaining to you, what I saw is um, my body and my siblings sitting and crying around me. And since I told you that I'd literally been their mother, I even explained to you that I did not want to leave and go. I just wanted to be with them and I wanted to come back. And maybe that is the reason I came back to my father. And my father has always been the most favorite sibling of his sisters.
Right.
I mean, he has an elder brother, but my father has been the most favorite of his mother. He had been the most favorite of his sisters. Another thing I would like to mention is when he was bedridden, like when Srija mentioned about crawling into bed and he did not want to be in bed anymore. The only name, it is strange, maybe there was recognition at the soul level. The only names he was calling his Baba and Ma. He was calling for his parents, but his sister had also expired. He never once said Didi when he was there.
Yeah.
Maybe at the level of soul he recognized. I did not recognize then, but I got to know about it only when I met you. He was bedridden. He was a very active person throughout his life. He did not want to be in bed anymore. But the only two people that he was calling repeatedly in his bed was his parents, his father and his mother. He never mentioned his Didi. Maybe he realized at that point of time that
That the Didi was right
that it
there
was
with him.
me.
Yes.
Yes,
He was
maybe
right there
maybe
with
he
him.
realized there, because it is so strange. His
Already there.
brain was his absolutely, his brain had been his his most positive point. He was very intelligent and his brain was partially not working. And maybe that is the time when your soul gets to recognize your soul mates, the loved souls. Maybe that is why he, I mean, all this caught my attention after he passed away. I mean, why wouldn't he call for his Didi also, because she too passed away, right? So what I believe, that our soul is the swan caught in the rib cage of our body. And when you really love someone that deep inside, you just cannot go. Because when I visualize my body from the top, I really did not want to leave my siblings and go, because they were my children to me. I wasn't really wanting to leave them. I wanted to come back. And another thing is, my father has an elder brother, he has a daughter. But the thing is, she was conceived not in that house when my aunt has passed away. But my mom conceived me in that building, in that house, where I
Okay.
saw my dead body from the top in my past life. Maybe that is the reason she was not reborn. She was not my aunt reborn, but I was my aunt reborn.
Wonderful, Debudina.
Those are things I connect.
Great insights you got, and you've given us some great insights through to these spiritual messages that have come through WhatsApp. The fact that you're reborn in the same family. You were your father's eldest sister who passed away, and then you are reborn again in the same family. You share the same connection with your aunts. The deep connect that you felt with your father, all this got resolved when you realize that you are just your own ancestor born again. And so, friends, I just want to say that when we leave this world with unfulfillment or with responsibilities that we still need to continue, we could come back again within the same family. And we look after those same people whom we possibly loved so much. And that's how really there is nothing like death. Like she also said, that Belina also said, that death is nothing but an illusion. It's a myth. Nobody dies. Nothing dies. You know, even a tree is born from a seed, and a tree again bears seeds. And again, the seed falls down into the ground and bears another tree. It's a never ending, eternal cycle in which we all are. And we need to honor and respect this cycle so that in this lifetime we can complete our lessons, we can let go of the relationships that we have so beautifully nurtured, so that we move on and we live another beautiful life. So, friends, I can only say with Debulina's wonderful sharing, thank you so much, Debulina. I feel really grateful that you came, you got your answers, and today you're sharing these answers with all of us. It's really wonderful. Most people would not share their grief, but you are right here with us, sharing your grief, sharing your insights, and I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to you are going to get a lot of answers just by listening. So thank you so much, Debulina, and thank you, viewers, for being with us weekend after weekend, watching these wonderful real past life stories that we are putting up for you. And do stay on with us. Shrija, last words to you.
Yes. I was, reading through the messages that came to her, there's something that struck me again, and I would like to end the show with this beautiful message. You see Tulsidas written twice in the messages that came, right? So I just came across something very beautiful that Saint Tulsidas has written, and that is Agun Sagun Dur Brahma Sarupa Akat Anag Anadi Anupa, which means that which is unfathomable, which is not qualified, which is Nirakar. Everywhere the same substance is found. He gives an example of water, snow, and hail. He says that in everything, the same essence, the same substance is present. So, if you love your children or the people present, you are actually showing love to the one who's not present, because he's present in some way or the other in every act that you do. So nothing is lost. That's Saint Tulsidas is saying, that everything is running together, everything is parallel, and everything is within everything else. So a part of your dad is in probably your children, a part of your dad is in your mom, a part of your dad is in you. Like you came back, right? For giving him the nourishment again. He's also gonna find his way back to you. So with that, I think it completes the entire cycle. And this is so beautiful. And have a very beautiful life. Thanks for coming to
Have a
Purnamada, and
wonderful
we're
life,
really happy to
Debulina.
have you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much,
everyone.
Srija. Thank you so much, Srija. Thank you so much, ma'am. But I would like to conclude saying, ma'am, this couldn't have been ever possible if you wouldn't have been a part of my life. I'm so grateful that I got to meet you, that I got to see you, ma'am. I couldn't have come into this peace of mind. I couldn't have come into this phase of my life if you wouldn't have solved this puzzle for me. It was a jigsaw puzzle. It was an alphabetical jumble. You're the one who solved this puzzle for me. You are the one who got me out of this. My life wouldn't have been as it is today if it was not you. I did not want to meet anybody other than you. I did not want to meet any other PLR expert other than you ever since my father passed away. And maybe it was my father who got me to
You'll be
you. And it
surprised to
was...
know that, yeah, that Dr. Trupti Jain herself was very attached to her dad and has received messages post his when he passed on, and she has an entire chapter written on it, and that's beautiful if you ever get a chance to read, because she's also connected to her dad in various ways. So
I
I'm
heard...
sure she could
Sorry.
understand you very well.
I heard...
Daddies must be
I
having a
heard
little,
TED Talks.
group upstairs, up there in heaven. I think all dads must be having a little group up there. So that's how I guess we all get connected to our fathers. And
I
so,
remember.
yeah, so.
I remember hearing your TED Talk, ma'am, on your dad, on your
Yes.
sister. I
Yes.
remember hearing you.
Yes.
But it is all you. My life today is much more resolved and much more complacent and much more better. And I'm a very, I won't say very solved, but I would say a much happier person, a much resolved person. And that's all because of you. And
Thank you,
only
thank
because
you,
of you.
thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
thank you. I'm deeply grateful Debulina, for all the wonderful words that you have just said. And for
They're just
everybody
true. They're
else,
just true.
do watch the TED Talk that she's talking about. It's also on YouTube.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
It's wonderful. Please
And
do
we'll
watch
leave
it.
the description, in the description, we'll leave the link of the TED Talk.
Yes, we will
and you
give
can
the
watch
link.
it later.
Thank you.